come inside.
Yeah, I will allow it. I will allow it. Allow it. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you very much.
We
Thank you very
start.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Dear friends, on behalf of MSME Development Institute and the Brainery, I welcome you all. Let me first thank you all for sparing your valuable time and joining for this session. I would also thank Sri Gopinath Rao, who has given me an opportunity to be associated with you today. Also, I would like to share my gratitude to MSME Development Institute, which is doing such a fine job of bringing the knowledge to all the MSME sectors. Friends, during 2019, when the budget was prepared, we had made an ambitious plan of achieving $5 trillion economy. This was possible only by manufacturing segments contributing more. If you see that MSMEs contribute a major chunk of revenue, also they contribute major chunk for the exports. However, at the fag end of 2019, we were struck with an unknown virus which was called as COVID-19, and the whole universe came to a standstill. This situation gave us an opportunity to rethink ourselves. When we started rethink ourselves, every businessman, every worker, every individual has got suffered due to this pandemic. When the rethinking was done, it was concluded that we must do a better financial management, and we must also have a better product to deliver. I am sure you all agree with this. Can I have a chat such saying that yes, you are in agreement with this? You can type in the chat box and say that. Thank you very much. And when the opportunity opens, we have been told to grab by both the hands. Is it possible to grab without having proper tools, proper equipping yourself? No. In order to equip yourself in the manufacturing sector, you must be very healthy. Or, in other words, you must be a lean. When we say lean, some people say it is a tool, some people say it is a destination. Well, what I feel, lean is neither of two. Lean is a journey. Lean is a journey which takes us across through all the development activity. Now here, let me share you my screen so that we can proceed further.
Chandru ji. Chandru? Chandrasekhar ji? Hello? Hello, Chandrasekhar?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you can go to present now.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
You can share it. Okay, thank you.
I hope everybody is able to see my screen. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 minute. Is it visible?
Earlier it was there.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm sharing. I got it.
Perfect.
Yes, we got the screen.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, today I am going to take you through the lean journey. As I told you earlier, it is only an journey which is a very vast ocean, on a very vast ocean. So we are just going to touch the fine points for which we can concentrate and improve our productivity. My name is Chandrasekhar, and I am the catalyst working with the Brainery. I have 30 years of experience in Gamba, and I have worked in many industrial organizations ranging from special process industries to assembly line and uh, pressure die casting industries. I am a diploma holder and a graduate engineer. I have also completed my master's in manufacturing process, and I have completed my master's diploma in training and development. Now, when everybody talks about lean, let us understand what is lean. Lean is a journey which is embarked by collaborative team efforts to improve performance and removing wastes and reducing variations. These are the four parameters which are required to fulfill when you start a lean journey. Now, what is this four parameters? These four parameters are like four pillars of your organization or the four main parts required for your journey. Now, any journey when you have a company, you get the journey gets very easy. And if you are very comfortable, you will find more easy to complete. And if you are very light, if you are carrying very light in a journey, and if you don't have anything, and the way the journey is as per your schedule, what else you would like to ask for a lean journey? Yes. With this, let us see what is the most important four pillars of any business house. When I say any business house, be it manufacturing, be it trading, be it servicing, these three industries rest upon the foundation which is called as the promoters. But only the foundation will not be able to help you build a house. You need four major pillars. The four pillars or 4M are money, machine, man, and method. Money can be got through intermediaries like bank, personal loan, or any other financial institutions. Machinery production is there, and you can buy the machine what is required for you. However, the other two, man and method, are the most important things which control these two parameters, that is money and machine. We can say that money and machine are static pillars of the business house. Man and method are dynamic pillars of the business house. You need to look at the man very closely because man, let me remind you, when I say man, it includes both the gender, man and woman. But in our industry side, we say workman or man. So you have to look up. It is the most variable parameter. It varies according to the temperature. It varies according to the mood. it varies according to the season, it varies according to the situation. Hence, the control or the trained or the motivated manpower is most important in any business. Now, how do you achieve a collaborative team? Now, collaborative team, before coming to collaborative team, what is a team? Team is made of human beings. Now, I am a human being, you are also a human being. Let us see what we require. When we go for work, we go to work for money, we go to work for passion, we go to work for getting us a sense of satisfaction, we go to work to learn. This is common phenomena for everybody goes to learn and achieve something or make some progress in his life. So the most important thing when we say a man, it is the respect. If you can give a respect to any human being, he will be able to do the work extraordinarily for you. Now, let me share with you an incident which happened to when I was working in one of the organization. I joined new to the organization and I was little bit surprised when the whole team was not very cooperative or not very happy working together. And I also observed there is no any culture in the organization to respect anybody. So I started respecting everybody, including from the gate to the CEO. The sweepers were respected, the workers were given respect, the executives were respected. I used to wish them every day morning, whenever somebody used to meet, I started interacting with them. Over a period of very short time, around 15 days, people started responding to me. When I started getting response from them, they felt that I am one among them. From the security gate to the CEO, they started accepting me. Acceptance of persons are required, and one of the best tools to get acceptance is to give respect. Because I also need respect. Now, what happened afterwards? When I got them into my fold, I could build a team. I could very easily build a team and I could know what is their weaknesses and what are their strengths and how best I can support them so that they can grow. When I say they can grow, when they grow, I grow. My position grows. This is the thought process I had when I was doing a team building. When my subordinates are working very fine and they are able to achieve their goals, the work pressure on me comes down and I can think of improving my skill levels. Hence, the team I could build very, very fast. Then what I did, I identified each and every team member's strengths and weaknesses and I started educating them in that particular field. Suppose if the person was in inventory management, I used to talk to him about inventory management, how he should manage the inventory. If a person is in the production department, I used to tell him what are the best methods of producing any products. I used to guide them. I used to tell them, I used to mentoring them. By this way, the team bonded very, very thick. The whole problem was solved. I also devised a method that the communication from the top level, that is a strategic decision which was being made in the boardroom, was sent down to the last person in the operation department. This helped that everybody could focus on the strategic decision and the strategic goal which the company thought about it. So when the messages were being percolated down, the response started coming from the bottom and it grew up. The results came very high and we could achieve the target of either the production or the deliveries or the dispatches. There was a very big collaborative team which was working. Believe me, this collaborative team not only reduce the inventory carrying cost of 1 crore per month, but it could also fulfill the 100% customer commitment. Here, the basic thing which started was respect. We start respecting, we start going ahead, and we can form the team, we can enlighten the people, and the communication increases. Now, friends, let us have a small activity. May I request you all to unmute and tell me, or you can type in the chat box. Friends, what are the things what you do in order to build a collaborative team? Do you do any team meetings every day? Hello? Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we do any team meetings in the organization, sir?
Sir, we basically have more on informal chat, but during informal chat, we talk more about their families and messages given that we care for you. You know, it may not necessarily be team, because the challenges with team is many times people think that, you know, one is favoring the other. You know, that is my personal opinion, personal observation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else can join this subject? Anybody else can contribute on team meetings? Yes, sir. I really appreciate your answer. Team meetings are basically very necessary when we come in the morning to attend the work. This gives a channel for communication to the whole day. We can also take the response of what happened yesterday, what are today's challenges, and what is the plan for tomorrow. If we keep this with the very small things, then the team communication improves, interpersonal relationship will build, and we will be able to eliminate the doubt which is saying about partiality or favoring somebody. We have to be very transparent in this. Now, the second activity is, what are the important company activities which you carry out in a year? Can you just tell me? You can also list out and put it in the chat box. And one of you can also read me a chat box, because I'm not able to see the chat box. Hello? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes. Am I going too fast, or is it that I am not able to make you understand? Something like that?
You are fine.
Thank you.
Able to
Thank you very
totally
much.
understand. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I did not receive any communication. So I was a little bit worried if I am either going very fast or I am not able to get your focus on the activity. See, my strong belief is that if we are able to interact with each other, we can at least go towards what is the lean manufacturing. We can understand, because when we say lean journey, the journey is a huge. It's a very big, vast ocean. We have to cover the distance. So, may I request you to be interactive, please?
Yes, sir. Go on, please. We are there for you.
Thank you very much. So some of the important company activities what we generally do. I am from Karnataka, and we here celebrate Ganapati Puja, Ayuth Puja, that is festivals, and we also celebrate some of the religious festivals like Ram Navami and Deepavali. So what happens here? We come together. People from all the divisions or all the walks of the industry, all the grades, they come and enjoy and celebrate. Holi is the most important activity which we celebrate in our organization. This again builds a bond between each individual, which will help you to build a team, so that that team will stand with you. Assemble for non-work related activities. Do you carry out some trips, annual trips with the employees and their families? Is that there? I feel yes, we should have that outing, which because the time, this is a non-work related activity which will allow them to open up. When the person opens up, he is able to receive very clearly about the other person. He will be more empathetic to your approach or your requirement or your desire. And when he opens up, he can definitely focus on that strategic goal which you have decided. Many organizations I have seen, coffee breaks are given. Coffee breaks are generally, coffee or tea is served where they are sitting or where they are working. Now, this was the custom where I used to work earlier. I found that it is so monotonous that people don't move out. And people take the coffee break and then again they take a bio break outside. The coffee break was also spreading for a long time. The small decision was taken that the person will come outside his work area. The person will come out of his work area and have his coffee or tea so that he can have an interaction with his colleagues and he can also come out of the fatigue of sitting in one place. That was very beautiful thing which we had. We also celebrated birthdays on the birthday of any employees, which built their boost moral and they were more interactive with the management. When I said assemble for non-work related activity, we used to take them once in a year on a social outing, which also made them open up. We also did encourage knowledge sharing. See, every time you cannot have somebody from outside coming and giving you the training. You can also encourage the peer learning, that is the people inside the organization can train them. This will increase the respect for the other and people will be able to do lot of knowledge sharing which will help them. We have just now seen how collaborative team can be formed and what is the status of the collaborative team when they are united. They are just like a very big contained energy which will power you and may take you to your goal. But only that will not be able to take you to the goal. You need to improve the performance inside. Now, the most important performance when we say we have to be in time, we have to adhere to the customer deliveries, we have to adhere to the safety norms which are there. Now, what do we do when we get up early in the morning? We get up, we attend to the nature calls, we get ready, we take bath, we wear a nice clean clothes and we go to the work. When the work environment is good, we feel good and we can perform better. Similar way, how to make your work environment better? It is by following this 5S principle. 5S principle is the best and most effective principles for housekeeping. Here, when I say housekeeping, it is not only cleaning, it is also the way we work the way our work area is maintained. And by maintaining this 5S, we are going to reduce our waste time in searching for parts or searching for tools or searching for the jigs and fixtures. So 5S is the most important tool for improving our performance. I'm sure you all have heard about just-in-time manufacturing. This just-in-time manufacturing is again a misconception which we have. Just-in-time is I go buy now, produce, and I give it to the person who wants it now. Actually, that is the thought process. But when we put that into the manufacturing, it is something different. Just in time in manufacturing is that we have the product in the Gemba or the shop floor at the time it is required in right quantity, right quality. Now suppose you are assembling a gearbox and you need to have 5 different sets of gears. If and the whole production for the day is 100 numbers, you need to ensure that in the first hour, if it is able to produce 20 numbers, the 25 sets of gears should be there. And those 5 sets should be free from any defects. And when the operator is taking, he needs to just assemble it. That is just-in-time manufacturing principle, which we need to adopt. And we need to improve our performance. We always commit beyond our capacity. Yes, when the customer puts a pressure, we commit and we fail to perform because a lot of problems are there. Hence, we should be aware of our takt time so that we commit to the customer what is capable by us and we maintain 100% delivery performance. There is a production methodology where we were following earlier that if the machine is loaded with one tool, we keep producing it for a number of days and then we change. If the operator is not there, we don't produce and we produce it for 3 months inventory, something like that, continuous production. However, if we balance that out and if we do a level production of what the part is required, we will improve our performance. We can also improve our performance by the collaborative team effort by implementing Kaizen. Kaizen is a word I'm sure most of you know. Kaizen is nothing but daily small improvements in the manufacturing process. Let me give you an example. Have we measured what is the size of a rain droplets? Maybe 1, maybe 2 mm, 3 mm diameter maximum. These droplets, when they come continuously on the ground, it creates a river. That is one single drop coming continuously onto the ground can create a river which joins to the ocean. Believe me, this is the principle. If we keep performing, if you involve everybody into the Kaizen activity, your progress, your performance will just take a upward trend and you will be doing a quantum jump in your performance. Again, this is a collective effort. Everybody should be there. Hence, our collaborative team should be very strong to do this. Is it sufficient we do all these things? No. We should know where we are and where we have to go. That is, we should know what are our performance indicator, where we are, where we have to go, and what is the method we are going. If we know and if we can monitor, it will be better. It will increase our performance. Many people say attendance is the key performance. Maybe it is partial, but your key performance is the customer complaints, the customer rejections, the in-house rejections, and in-house problems. These are the key areas that how you are able to address this. If you are able to address this, you are able to improve your performance very high. I hope I am very clear. Do you have any doubt till this time?
Please move on, sir. Yes, it was very clear.
Thank you very much. We'll break into small activity. I'll ask some 3-4 questions. I request you to please tell me. Now this activity will tell you how you can improve your fires or how you can bring some change in the thinking process of your employees or if your team. I would like to imagine when you enter your organization, list out 2 points which can be improved, be it the garden area or the security area. Can anybody unmute yourself and tell me? Can anybody please? Text also can be.
Sir, could you please repeat the question?
Imagine your company entrance. Now you're entering your organization. Just imagine how it is and list out 2 major points which can be improved.
Okay.
Now, when you are entering, the first thing in your organization will be, in any manufacturing organization, will be a security gate. Then you have some space, and then you have the work area, and then you have the administrative area. What are the 2 major points which you think can be improved? These are the thought process which I am just trying to give you to increase the performance. My personal
something
experience,
like,
sir.
yeah, sir, something like, see, we want to have an eye on our quality, wherein what happened yesterday, what and all has not been completed, what are on in line to our expectation that we need to have a board. And
Yes.
Other point regarding like what is that we have to deliver to the customer, or we on the track?
Yes. Yes, sir. These come under key performance indicator, and the key performance indicator can be kept in different places depending upon the key performance parameter which you are measuring at that particular station. Suppose you are measuring some quality related issues, you can put it in the quality, incoming quality or outbound quality, what is happening. If it is your deliveries of performance, you can keep it at the supply chain management team's place, and the consolidated can be kept it in your administrative block, which will give you this. Very good point, sir. Thank you very much. That is a nice thing. Now we'll go to the
Thank you, sir.
Now we'll go to the second thing. Imagine your scrap yard of your company and give me 2 major points how it can be improved.
Sir, one point I would like to share.
Please, sir.
In our scrap yard, when we look, what basically we need to see, what is the maximum we can make it out of scrap for the company at that point of time. If at all it is being left out for many days or time, within this time period, we have to make it clear or some deal has to be completed. That has to be always kept in mind.
Very good, sir. Very good. That is the thing. But let me give you an example or my learnings or my experience which went through. We seldom segregate our scrap yard. We mix the oil waste, the dirty waste, the waste with your iron chips, everything is mixed together and thrown. And sometimes what happens, over enthusiastic people also throw their good waste without knowing, without using it to the maximum. First and foremost thing which I may implemented in the organization is segregation of the waste. Waste is nothing but money. You get money from your scrap yard. It is an additional revenue generation place. I am extremely sorry, not revenue generation. It is an additional place from where you can recover your investment. Hence, you need to segregate them, and each segregated part has to be disposed of at the earliest. If you are keeping chips, that is turning chips or any other chips, if you are not able to dispose it of in time, it gets rusted and the rust starts multiplying itself and you will be left with nothing to sell. So you will not be able to recover any part from that. Second aspect is disposing these waste are to be done with environmental norms. We feel that just by putting a fire on the waste, we are disposing it off. No, we are spoiling the environment. When we consider any environment, the environment factors comes to in your total collaborative team building effort. Hence, we need to respect the environment also. The last question I would like you all to take, list out how many idle machines are there in your unit. Will they be used soon or will they be disposed to reduce ideal capital?
Sir, yes. In there are idle machines. We need to see, like, we can see from our industry nearby, is there anyone require that machine? Can we rent it out, or we can, whether it will be useful in a situation, by any chance we can repair, or we can give it to other companies at a good price. Well, we should not keep that as a dead stock or a dead inventory. That's my suggestion.
Yes, sir. I second your suggestion, and I am sure that you are already taken the ticket to join the train of Lean Journey.
Yes, sir. True.
Idle machines are nothing but things which are eating our capital. They are to be considered, if you talk in financial terms, they are considered as non-performing assets. Non-performing assets, any banker will liquidate, try to liquidate. Hence, we should try to liquidate, or we should see that the machines are used soon to get some revenue out of it. Friends, here we have, till now, we have discussed about collaborative team effort and improving performance. Now, we have collaborated together to improve performance. But how to improve performance? These are the things to improve performance. But what to improve? Where to improve? The lean manufacturing says that we have to look out for the wastes in the company. And we have to identify those kinds of waste and we have to eliminate it. If not, reduce it. Now, let me take you towards identifying or how you are removing your waste. The first and foremost important is transportation waste. We all know transporting goods from one point to another point is the necessity, but at the same time it is a service and not a value added activity. I have seen many industries moving the material from one place to another back to their organization for inspection and then again taking it to the next organization for further processing. Let me be very specific to you. I was working in an organization where we used to produce sheet metal components. these components should be sent out for surface treatment. The two surface treatments units were there. One was doing a protective coating and one was doing a decorative or aesthetic coating. They were nearby. However, the parent unit, which was sending the material, used to send one time for surface treatment, that is protective coating, bring that back, inspect, then send it for decorative or aesthetic coating, bring that back, inspect, then send it. Here we are doing 4 times the job, 4 times a transportation job. This was easily reduced by putting one manpower at the surface protective coating area, so that when the material was sent from the parent unit to the protective coating, the inspection would happen then and there, and then it would be shifted to your decorative or aesthetic coating, and then it would come back. This prevented not only the transportation waste, but also improved the quality and handling damages which was being seen. Hence, whenever we think about transportation, we should be very careful in selecting the mode of transportation, and we should be able to design our flow in such a way that the transportation cost is very, very minimal. Then we go to the inventory. This is a very big subject. However, I would like to share my experience. Like I told you earlier, with a collective team effort, we were able to reduce 1 crore of monthly inventory. This was possible by redesigning the production process, by balancing, or when we saw that how to improve performance, there we saw the leveling production. We introduced leveling production and we reduced the inventory. Inventory, people had apprehension that inventory is helpful because sudden spurt in customer demand we will not be able to feed. If that is the one part which contributes only to the 10% of the time, another 90% of the time your material goes as waste. It is completely gets damaged because of storage. It gets lost, theft, any kind of pilferage can happen when your inventories are huge. Hence, to be lean, you need to reduce your inventory to a greater extent. In the shop floor, we have seen that lots of movement of manpower happens. Why is that so? We have manpower allotted to the machine, allotted to the process, but still we see lot of manpower moving. This is basically because the flow of the product has not been clearly defined. In the die casting industry where I worked, we had to bring the molten metal from the mother furnace to the holding furnace, where actually die casting used to happen. That product used to come out. It was being transferred for a cutting section, which was diagonally opposite to the machining or the die casting machine. Then it used to go to the first floor for fettling operation. Then it used to come to the ground floor again for handwork, work, polishing, all those things. And then it used to go to the other place for machining process. We redesigned everything. We opened a door for the machine shop in the first floor, and we shifted our cutting machine from the ground floor to the first floor, so that any material which is produced are immediately sent to the first floor for cutting. Then the fettling operations and polishing was also introduced. Then it was going to machining, and from there it used to come down for the quality, final inspection and dispatch. This to my surprise, increased my productivity. Hence, I very strongly tell you that if you reduce the motion of unnecessary movement of the parts, productivity will increase. The next important waste is waiting. I am very sure we just experienced today before start of this program. We waited for people to join in for 10 minutes. Just imagine what all was going on in your brain. What is happening? Where is happening? What is... So your brain, your concentration, the whole thing was just churning. Things cannot wait. Waiting is a crime. Hence, we say waiting should not be there. You should be able to balance your production. Then we go further for removing the waste, and one of the waste is overproduction. Just because you have a machine, just because you have to utilize the machine, because enough manpower have come, you produce a part which is required 3 months down the line. You are proactive. People say that I am proactive, I am producing, I know, I will sell. But imagine what will be the problems you'll have to face. It increases your inventory, it increases your pilferage, it gives chance for it to deteriorate, and you will require a larger space. All the space in the shop floor can be occupied by this excess production. That is called as overproduction. Almost in Karnataka and in South, it is rainy season. You know, somebody invented this saying that we have 2 umbrellas. So if one umbrella gets damaged, I am going to get myself protected with the second. Is this statement correct? No. This is called as overproduction, overprocessing, which is not required. We should not produce beyond our requirement, beyond the drawing requirement. Here what happens, you have a tolerance and you have a surface finish given. And you, for achieving certain surface finish, you require to have certain tools used in machining. If you use a costlier tool or higher tool, then you get more finish. But is that finish required? No. But you are already doing that because you have one high-end tool which can give you best surface finish. But the drawing does not call for it. What is the use of that? Your expenditure is increasing. The customer is not going to give you for your over-processing. Let me give you one more example. I am very sure that you all have a car. The car is having a painting. In car, there are 2 types, 2 finish of painting we can see. One is the exterior, and it is aesthetic. When I say aesthetic, it is what is visible to your eyes. But when you open your boot, the color is same. But do you require the same finish inside? No. If you give that kind of finish inside, if you polish, if you apply rubbing paste and all those things, is it going to add any value to the car? Very less. However, it is going to act only as preventive painting rather than your aesthetic painting. Hence, we should be able to differentiate between process requirement and over-processing. Hence, over-processing is also waste which we should work upon. This is something which most commonly happens where there is no collaboration and cooperation between the manufacturing, the quality, and the process team. There is a defect component which has been produced in the first stage. It can be easily removed and kept without adding further process onto it and giving it at the end of the process line with the 8 man hours, you put it and give it, say this is a defect. Instead of that, you can just keep it like that. Don't produce the defective parts. If you are able to educate your collaborative team that what happens with defect manufacturing, if you educate your collaborative team to identify this and stop it there and there, you are going to save a lot. Your productivity, your process capability will all increase when you try to stop it at the origin or at the place of detection. So defect production is not accepted. This is something very strange which the lean talks about. We have people who are overqualified for their particular job requirement. We have an engineer to look after what do you call a handwork section where you do most of the thing, you do deburring session. You don't require that. You can have a required skill set person to head that. Hence, even employing a high qualified person in the wrong area is a waste. Hence, we need to reduce this waste. Let me just take you back to this. When we say removing waste, we talk about transportation, we talk about inventory, we talk about motion, we talk about waiting, and we talk about production, over process, then we talk about defects, and then we talk about talent. Now, can anybody tell me that how easily you can remember this? Let me help you. Tin wood in manufacturing industries. Tin wood is nothing but this is a kind of waste which each and everyone need to look for with their open eyes. The waste transportation, the high inventory, the motion of people or the material unnecessary, the waiting of the product, overproduction, overprocessing, defect production, and talent. I hope I have made myself clear. Do you all have any doubts in this? Any questions on this subject?
Sir, you can move on.
Thank
Sir,
you very
can
much.
I ask, you have been telling more from the manufacturing perspective.
Yes,
But,
sir.
let's say a distribution company, no, we are who's into, let's say, trading and distribution.
Yes, sir.
So, can you talk also with reference to that and or in that context? What would differ then?
Sure, sir. Sir, I mentioned as I mentioned earlier, the 4 pillars of a business house, be it a manufacturing or the service or the trading industry. The 4 pillars are common.
So, but
And
in trading, it is machine you have sold. There is a machine is more for the manufacturing, correct?
Yes, yes. In trading, what happens? Your product becomes your machine, right? You are
Okay.
trading parts which you are having.
Hmm.
See, you are not manufacturing. Am I correct, sir?
True.
You are buying from somebody.
Hmm.
So that is a finished goods. You
Right.
can consider machine as your finished goods.
Okay.
Trading, instead of machine, you replace with the finished goods.
Correct.
So you have money to buy that. you can take from the bank.
Right.
So you have brought that many things. But alone, can you do everything? Can you do the
No.
stock? Can you do the sales? Can you give the at the counter? Even the smallest automobile spare parts person will have 3 members working for him.
Right.
This methodology is relevant even to them. Here, when I say a team is to be there, in trading, if you are not taking the person into confidence, if he is not, you must have seen in most of the trading industries, they are a close-knit family members or lone person, a stranger as an engineer or a professional puts a biodata and goes and joins an organization. That is not like that. You cannot be going, you cannot join that thing. Even if you are lower qualified, you need to know them. That is the first step of knowing a people, building a team. He builds a team. Then he wins them over. Otherwise, I am sure all the problems which I have mentioned, like inventory, in the problems I mentioned in inventory, the problems I mentioned in defects, selling the defective parts, or you are moving the material and bringing it back. You buy from one person, you take it to some other person to give. The person is not there. You bring it back. Then again, the next day you go and deliver. This is an unnecessary wastage of thing. When you employ a person, engineer in a trading section, is a waste of talent. This is what I
Right.
feel. So these things are being told from the manufacturing angle, but if you are able to replace the words, the methodology into any of these 3 sections, like manufacturing, trading, or servicing, this can
Correct.
happen. This is very, very clearly replicable to all the sections of industries.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Have I cleared you out, sir?
Very much, sir. Very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we'll have small activity. Again, please don't feel bad. This is just to rekindle your brain or rekindle your thought process or rekindle your soul to start thinking in this direction. In any industry, there are air pipelines, airlines used. How many people check the airlines, or when was it last checked? Anybody from the manufacturing industry can tell, sir?
Sir, though I'm not in manufacturing industry directly,
Sir,
I can share my thoughts on it, sir.
please, sir, please. I love to hear you.
Okay. See, when you have mentioned this activity based on that airline and water wastage, everything. See, for example, in the housekeeping in any corporate, they have a checklist that once they do any work, they have a tick mark whether the floor cleaning is done, then piping is done, they have a tick mark, and it is thoroughly supervised. And they also see that necessary damage, everything, any repair has to be attended, the person is there, rightly it is identified, marked, yes, they check and supervise, and they bring it to the notice of admin. Such like procedure is followed, then we can handle the procedures.
Yes, we can bring that into our small day-to-day life. We can bring whatever we have discussed today, that we can bring to individual life, or we can bring to our home, or we can bring to our office, or we can bring to our manufacturing setup, or we can bring to our corporate. Only thing is you need to change the words, but the base, the foundation, the things remains the same. Now, why I said airline, my big experience on that. Air is free, available. So what is wrong in we wasting the air was one of the questions which was asked to me. I said air is free, but compressed air is not free. it is 5 times the charge of any product you buy. It involves a capital equipment called air compressor. It has a running expenditure of maintenance. It is required to run on electricity. These costs add up for every air passing. Every 1 bar of air is costing. Hence, this is the most neglected area also. Why I am telling is, most of the airlines are installed at the roof level, and seldom people check that. However, if you can see, the air pressure or the frequency of your air compression starting and closing increases. This is the signal for you to check for air leakage. And air leakage is one of the wastes. Water, many either there is a scarcity of water or water is being not reused. In process industries, which is a heavy dependency on water, they just pollute the environment. There are methods, and very few people are following that. Rainwater harvesting is one of the things which is talk of the day, because we have a feeling that the water is getting extinct. Maybe my 5th generation or 6th generation may not be able to see water as me or my father or my grandfather was to see. Hence, the most thing is we are making impact for having a rainwater harvesting facility. And the waste, I just want everybody, including you, sir, for your trading, what are the waste you are generating and how you are disposing of is to be seen. Because there is a principle which says energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another form. Replace energy with waste. It holds 100% true. Waste can never be created nor destroyed, but it takes from one stage to the another stage. Like your packing box. It has come from wood. It takes a shape of a paper. A box is made. Then it goes on the journey. If it is not properly used, it gets degraded at a very later stage. The plastic is a challenge. Yes, ma'am.
So what I do is the vegetable waste, for example, I have never discarded them or thrown them away into the garbage bin. I have a small place in my terrace where I just put them, and where I have God knows buckets full of earthworms, and then the vegetable waste gets converted into manure.
Yes, thank you very much for that noble cause. I'm very sure that everybody will start following that, because the handling of waste is the next biggest challenge what we are facing. Let me just sum up to you up to now. We have talked about collaborative team effort. We have talked about improving process. We have learned about waste. We have been able to identify the waste. Now, the process variance. Let us look into the process variance. Why the variance in the process comes? Variance comes because the product design or poor process design or unsuitable machine, or we use untrained manpower, or the environment which is required for that to manufacture is not maintained as per the specification. Now let me give you an example of environmental parameters. For a painting on a surface, it has to get cured. So the paint has to be cured at 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. It means to say, the specification says that the product after painting must be kept at 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes and then removed. People misunderstand it. They send the component at 180 degrees and they immediately bring it down. The polymerization of the paint does not happen. The adhesion to the surface does not come. So over a period of time, the life of the paint starts giving away and the paint starts peeling. This is the impact of not following the environmental parameters like temperature, the humidity acts on the product or the process. Now, how shall we reduce the variations? The variations can be reduced by reducing non-value added steps. You should not incur any non-value added steps like over-processing. When you do over-processing, it is not adding any value, but it is increasing the variations. Now, what do you mean by variations? Variations in an engineering industry is called as the dimension of a particular component being within the tolerance but not at the exact required tolerance. They are playing between the bandwidth. So we have to reduce that and bring it down. For that, we have to improve our measurement systems, and there are many common causes for variations. Maybe the machine alignment, machine mounting, or the building on which the machine is mounted. There is a vibration which is coming. The neighbor is having a heavy engineering unit and you have very delicate machining unit. So these common causes are there. When he is operating a very high tonnage machine, the vibration can come to here. So we have to reduce that, see that where the variation is coming, and we have to reduce that. Special cause variation also need to be reduced because we need to understand these special causes which are acted by human behavior. We have to, in order to reduce variations, we are improving our measurement system. By improving our measurement system, we are bringing down the mean value so that the process is capable of producing the similar product without less variations. I hope I have made myself clear in this. We have learned in Lean Journey about collaborative team effort, then improving process by reducing the waste and by removing the waste and reducing the variations. Hence, I call this as a lean journey which is embarked by collaborative team effort to improve performance by systematically removing waste. When I say systematically, you have to observe whether that is a valid waste or not. Then you have to remove and then reducing the waste. If you are doing like this, then on the right hand side you see people who are very lean and very happy and are floating. You can definitely cross your expectation of your customer and you will be able to start your lean journey. With this, I come to the end of the session and I am open for question and answers if anybody has. Gopinath sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. I am
I was
at the
just-
end of my session. So anybody having questions, I am ready to open to answer.
So all members are requested to please ask any question is there, because I hope Mr. Chandrasekhar has clarified all your doubts. If there is no question from them.
Absolutely. It was a very clear and very informative session. So
Please
I don't
introduce,
have any
madam.
questions.
Please introduce you, madam. From where you calling?
Sir, my name is Sharda. I'm calling from Bangalore itself. So me and my friends together, we have this startup called My Abhyas. So it's an
Right?
educational platform for online education,
Hmm.
online classes. And
Yeah.
Chandrasekhar is my long time friend, my school
Hmm.
classmate actually.
Oh, good.
So
Uh-huh.
yes, sir.
Online platform, what do you do nowadays? The government has given permission, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is that?
So
What you are?
we actually provide online live classes for class 6 to 10
Oh,
in both Kannada medium and then English medium for state syllabus and CBSE, sir.
okay, 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 okay. Now is not really any problem, no? Because people are nowadays they are telling that online will become a problem. The highs of the students have the
Yes, sir.
problem they are telling, no? That's right.
But I think now this is going to be the future.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We know.
So
For elders, is okay. We are doing the daily 2 to 3 webinars. So
yes, sir.
today, now just I finished in Delhi webinar on one interaction. Even though I
Okay.
kept my mobile on, allowing all the people.
Okay, sir.
So
Definitely. I would love to listen to
two
that as
work,
well, sir.
2 to 3 works can be done at one time when you do in a digital mode. It's very
Okay,
easy.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sharda.
Sir,
Yeah,
this is
Mr.
Sandeep
Gopinath,
here.
this is Sandeep Budrani here from Pune, Maharashtra. It was a fabulous seminar, I would say. Learned a
Hmm.
lot also in the distribution segment, not only for manufacturers, the lean method.
Hmm.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, may I know which company you are associated with now? You're mentioning the board of directors and so on.
Yes, I will just come back. I was associated with many manufacturing industries. I have worked with around 6 industries. Now I am into full-time training and development, and I have formed a team called as the Brainery,
Okay.
and I'm conducting class. Next slide, I would just like to show. If any questions are not there, I would like to show.
Yeah.
Sir, may I know what you are doing in Pune?
Mr. Gopinath, we are in touch. I told you that, remember that I'm also going to make up a presentation sometime next month. We have a company in Dubai and in
Hmm.
we would like to, make a presentation on export opportunities for in the,
Oh, okay, you got in touch with me. I know.
yeah, right.
Okay, okay, yeah, I got it.
Great. And also on a personal front, I'm
Hmm.
looking to associate with companies who are public limited companies because
Hmm.
I want to, represent them as a independent director, join any board of
Hmm.
any public
Wait,
company. So,
yes. You be in touch with me, I will arrange it.
yeah, I appreciate that. And definitely I'm arranging the presentation. There are some legalities involved because we are going to mention our Dubai company also. So just give me
Hmm.
some time for that. We are preparing it,
Sure, sure, no problem.
Right.
Thank you very much, sir, and I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Same to you.
you, Vijendra. Thank you, Chandrasekhar.
Yeah, 1 minute. I will have to conclude. So, I would like to share information about my organization. These are the 4 programs which I will be launching from first week of December. That is a 1 week online training course, 30 days manufacturing process enhancer online course, 90 days manufacturing process enhancer certification course, and 6 months to 1 year implementation program is there. Sharing my contact details. Anybody who would like to join, would like to know more, can mail me or call me up. Alternatively, you can also take my reference from Mr. Gopinath Rao, and he will be able to give you. So with this, I once again thank you all for giving me an opportunity and giving your valuable time to listen and help me convey what I need to convey to you. Any questions? I am open for it.
Chandrasekhar sir, thank you. It was a very good presentation. This is Sendil here.
Yes, Mr. Sandil. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you very much, Sandil sir.
Sir, basically in import-export like trading organization, do you have any well-defined one? These are all like a SaaS model. Do you have any solution as a lean as a complete solution for a industry like that?
We can work it out, sir. There is absolutely no problem. We can look at the operations and then work it out.
Sure, sir. I'll be in touch with you. I have got your contact details.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine.
Sir, where are you from? You are from which place, sir?
Sir, this is Sendil, sir. I was in Bangalore earlier. Currently, I'm at Erode right now.
Oh, MSME. Oh, Senthil Kumar. You are in my. Okay.
Sir, we are always in touch, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yeah? I'll be in touch with you. Okay, thank you all. We'll meet again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chandru.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, can you have the contact numbers of the people, participants?
Once I get it, I'll share with you, sir.
Okay, sir. Please.
Thank you. I'll be talking with Mr. Gopinath Rao and I'll get the details.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
Chandrasekhar, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good day to all.
Thank you, sir.